Hello and welcome back to the Skywalker Gaming Podcast, episode 91. I'm your host, Jake Burke, and joined, as always, by James St. Charles and Ted Libby. Guys, it's been a long time. It's been like weeks.
It's been a month.
A lot of shit has happened.
Wow. A lot, yeah. Physically and abstractly.
Oh, and abstractly. Ted, what's been going on with you in the last few weeks? Fill in the kids.
Oh, God. Well, we can reiterate. I got food poisoning. We all got... Two of us got food
poisoning.
Separately, on separate incidents. I know.
You would have had a show last week, but I was vomiting.
Yeah.
And watching Ant-Man.
I was in a rough state. I know. I just watched Batman movies because every time I went on my phone, Instagram was like, "Do you want to cook something? Here's a cooking video." And I was like, "Go away. I can't handle this."
Can't handle this. James, did you get food poisoning?
No. I survived. I just ate bread and water
for a month.
Nice.
The prison diet.
Kept it clean. Yeah. An appetite lockdown, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he's fasting.
Yeah.
But enough about that, because this is the 91st episode of the Sidescape Gaming Podcast, where every Monday morning a new episode goes live on YouTube.com, SoundCloud, and Spotify. Once a week, we sit down in Discord over 500 miles, talk about a gaming-related topic, and what games we are playing. Today, we're kind of talking about a multitude of topics, catching up on all the big stories we've missed, like the all-new PlayStation Plus. E3 is no longer going to happen this year, and we've got a big delay and a big announcement. That's what we're talking about. Now,
we got a lot of stuff.
We got a lot of stuff to talk about. But before we start any of that, I got something to tell you guys, because I've been calling it for a while. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 has been delayed until spring 2023. Who's surprised?
I'm not.
No.
You know what? I'm happy, though.
Yeah.
You know why I'm happy? Because Elden Ring came out, but also there's a lot of good games this year, and I feel like that would really not do it justice, like if it released. Like, I think it would do well.
Mm-hmm.
But next year is like when it's gonna release, I think it's gonna be, like Animal Crossing all over again. Like it just like takes over.
Yeah, I am happy too, in that I don't have to play this game this year. I'm really not looking forward to this.
So much to play this year.
Yeah, I'm not excited about this.
Especially with God of War, right? That's coming out this summer, but it has no release date. But we don't know, so it could be
delayed.
Fall.
Who knows?
Could be delayed. Yeah.
Ted, what do you mean you're not excited about Breath of the Wild 2?
I'm not.
Okay.
The Switch is visibly aging. It is struggling to keep up, even with the games that are coming out right now.
That's true.
And two, I don't want more of the same, and we've never seen a Zelda call itself like a 2. I don't think.
Except for Legend of Zelda 2.
Oh, okay, that's a good point. But that was a completely different game.
It was.
Got you there.
That was to flip the narrative. That was a completely different game called The Legend of Zelda 2. I'm really worried this is just going to be more of the same.
I think that's a very fair worry. Yeah.
I do not want more of the same. I really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
I am good. I will replay that one if I want to play more of the same. I do not need a sequel that is more of what's the same.
A thing I worry about with Breath of the Wild 2, sorry, James, is just that the Fallout 4 effect. That the game was made in such a vacuum that, like, when it came out, it's like, well, you're not doing anything that open world games are doing now. Like, you made it the sequel to Fallout 3 that came out 6 years ago or whatever. Like, I do fear that that's going to happen. And that's Breath of the Wild came out in 2015? So, like...
No.
17.
Yeah,
sorry.
So it's been 6 years.
Yeah.
But still,
it'll be 6
years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
And we're playing an open world game that's kind of changing again. Open world games a little bit.
Is God of War going to be 5 years or 6 years?
God of War came out in 2018, so
18. Okay, wow. And God of War is coming out before, but I mean,
totally different. But
way different.
Yeah,
but still,
I don't know. There's a part of me that's pretty not worried about Breath of the Wild 2, but like, I don't know. I'm not like dying to play it.
Yeah, I'm not dying to play it either.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I think it's be great. Though the interesting thing is they did a little like announcement to announce the delay, like a little trailer. They showed like seconds of new footage, and part of it, Link is holding a broken Master Sword, and so people are now thinking, are you rebuilding the Master Sword, which we've done in other games. So we'll see. That's just where we're at. Okay, we've got some news stories to talk about. We got a lot of stuff to cover. I'm gonna let you guys choose. Do you want to start with the all new PlayStation Plus, E3, or The Witcher Saga getting a new entry? Where do you want to go?
I want to talk about The Witcher.
Okay, let's talk about The Witcher.
Let just be.
No, it's perfect. Okay, new story. The new Witcher Saga, CD Projekt Red announced a new game in the Witcher Saga. Didn't call it Witcher 4. Didn't call it any of that. And it's worth noting that the image that they put up, it's a different medallion than Geralt's medallion. Okay.
A lot of speculation going on with that, too.
Yes. So CD Projekt Red announced that it has begun development on Unreal Engine 5 as part of a strategic partnership with Epic Games. Unreal Engine 5, two days ago, Monday the 4th, was officially released. And in doing so, also Crystal Dynamics announced they're making a new Tomb Raider game on Unreal Engine 5. So that's kind of cool. Here is what CD Projekt Red had to say about it on their website. The teaser image from the new game features a medallion accompanied by a phrase, "A new saga begins." Beyond this initial confirmation of a new saga in the Witcher franchise, no further details, such as development time frame or release date, were provided. This is on their website, by the way, which I think is so funny. CD Projekt Red also announced that they will be moving to Unreal Engine 5 as part of a multi-year strategic partnership with Epic Games. Since The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings released in 2011, CD Projekt Red has used their proprietary technology, Red Engine, to build their new games. This new relationship with Epic covers not only licensing, but technical development of Unreal Engine 5, as well as potential future versions of Unreal Engine, where relevant. Developers at CD Projekt Red will collaborate with those from Epic, with the primary goal of beginning to help tailor the engine for open-world experiences. James, you're the Witcher guy. You're our guy that loves The Witcher 3 more than life itself.
True.
What do you think?
Good game.
What are your thoughts?
So yeah, with speculating, I hope so, but I think they're gonna continue the story, like kind of just go on. But then other people think that maybe it's gonna be like Witcher existing in another universe, like different types of houses, new medallion. So I don't know if it'll even reference any of the old games. I think it's just gonna use the Witcher kind of like world
formula and stuff,
formula and create something, because you got a really successful show. You got the Netflix show. You got spin-off games, Thronebreaker, Gwent, all this stuff. Like, I think when they said they were done with 3, like after this DLC we're all done with it, like they spoke way too soon, because like you got a really good series here and a good fan base to it, and they gotta show up because they just released Cyberpunk, not too long ago, and it totally I think destroyed their fan base. So they really need to rebuild it. This
conversation that we're having now spawned because you and I were texting about this, and we literally mid-texting, we're like, we should probably talk about this in the podcast.
Yeah.
I want to know, Ted, from you, because we haven't talked to you about this at all, what is your faith in CD Projekt Red after Cyberpunk, and how do you feel about a new Witcher game? Like, where are you at in that?
I know, it's weird. They clearly have lost faith in their own engine.
Yeah, that's why they're going to Unreal.
That's pretty obvious. I mean, Cyberpunk bombed in a lot of ways. I think one day we will look back on it as being like, yeah, it was fine. But its launch, its first year has all been quite rough.
Mm-hmm.
That game is still not. It's better, but it's still not to a place where a lot of people even want to play it.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten to a point where I want to go back, even if they fix everything. Like, I don't even like.
What would get you to go back at this point? Because I'm now in the thing. I will never play Cyberpunk. There's too many other new games.
Jake, if they pay me to come back, I'll come back.
Okay, fair enough. You know what? Yeah.
If they offered me a deal, hey, I'll pay you $1,000 and you play. What?
Actually,
I want to play Cyberpunk.
That's true. That's how they get me too. Yeah.
The enhanced editions for PS5 and Series X just came out, so I actually do want to give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. I've heard it's great.
You're right. You are right in that so much content comes out now that it's really tough to go back, and it does not seem like it's backlog worthy.
Yeah. And so many years have been dry. Now there's just way too much coming out. Now it's like, when I wanted to play Cyberpunk, it was shit. And now that I it's better, playable, why would I play it?
Yeah.
I don't know. So it definitely seems like a recovery move. They're clearly offloading a lot of the engine work and a lot of the technical stuff to somebody else, which I think is advantageous for both parties.
I think it's very smart. Yeah.
It's very smart for everybody involved. I'm glad they are not making The Witcher 4, but I'm not exactly excited for more Witcher content. Yeah. We don't know anything, though, so I really have no idea. You could be playing, a bad Witcher, a Witcher who is bad at his job, or who does not follow the rules. Most of The Witcher has been, other Witchers are kind of shit cans, and Geralt's,
The one good
begrudgingly going to do the right thing. And then you always hear stories about Witchers just taking the money and leaving.
Yeah, like everybody hates Witchers in this world, but then
you always hear about the shit Witchers.
Yeah, everyone hates Witchers, and as Geralt, you never really know why, because you just do what they tell you to do. And I guess you're kind of emotionless, but there's a lot you could play off of there. And new engine could be a whole new play style. It could be a complete departure from like light attack, heavy attack, dodge, and roll. We really don't know.
Yeah.
So I want to see more before I get really excited.
I'm just worried about the team. I feel like a lot of the core members that made the original Witcher series good have all left. And, have been done wrong. So they have to rebuild their team.
The director of this game is the person that directed the Gwent spinoff. He is the game director who did Gwent. That's who's doing it.
Gwent, the mobile game, or Thronebreaker?
The card game.
The card game spinoff. I don't.
The separate card game that was in the original Witcher 3.
No. The spin-off game that they made afterwards.
Thronebreaker?
Is that Thronebreaker? Yeah.
So they made a single-player card game called Thronebreaker, which is very good.
Yeah.
So
and they also made a free-to-play mobile game, competitive Hearthstone-alike.
No, I believe it's Thronebreaker.
Okay, Thronebreaker was
Thronebreaker.
Thronebreaker is very good.
Yeah, people were excited. Yeah.
Okay, so they got someone.
Yeah. But also they still, and I'm sure this is mentioned in where you read this. They still have every intention of fixing Cyberpunk. They still want to bring some kind of multiplayer to it, which I think is a bold call. Yeah.
Cyberpunk.
I don't know.
Cyberpunk will not get a multiplayer mode. You guys are insane at this point. I know they keep saying it, but it will not.
I swear they just exhausted the engine to a point where it really cannot handle this game. That's probably what happened.
This is a whole different thing, but I think it's so fascinating with Cyberpunk. But like the big thing was that they would make marketing promises on what the game could do, and then they would come back to their dev team and they'd be like, we probably can't do that. And they'd be like, you kind of got to figure it out. We said that we could do it.
The No Man's Sky treatment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Welcome to making a AAA game.
Yeah.
I don't hate Project CD Red at all. I think they made a bad game, but I don't think they're a bad company by any means.
I do.
I think there's a pretty nefarious ways that they marketed this.
I think they definitely treated their developers like shit, and I feel like as a developer, you would.
Is it too cynical to say everybody treats their developers like shit?
I definitely feel that there are really good studios like Sony Santa Monica, like that could be AAA. Like, yeah, sure, like Sony Santa Monica, like as we've seen in the documentary, they ride their employees like crazy. Mm-hmm. Like you put in the work, but they deliver. And they don't empty promise shit. So it's like, it's the thing. You just put all that work on, and there's definitely successful studios that like don't overwork, and I think that's changing now.
Was it Lego Skywalker Saga or no? There was a new game recently. They just talked about how they delayed it because it's already out, but they delayed it from its original release date to avoid all crunch. Maybe it was Horizon Forbidden West. They delayed it last year just to avoid crunch. Which is pretty cool.
That's a great thing.
Yeah, totally.
So,
interesting. Do you have any final thoughts on Witcher? We're gonna have much more to talk about CD Projekt Red and Witcher in the future, but
I'm cautiously optimistic as I always am.
Same here.
Yeah.
I wish them the best, both on regaining their status as a company and making a new game. I love GOG is a great website.
It's true. I forgot they do own GOG.
Yeah, GOG is a great place to buy old video games.
Yeah.
If CD Projekt Red folded up,
they were they had the base. They had everyone loving them, and then they released Cyberpunk. And
remember in The Witcher, every copy came with a thank you note.
It is.
That was The Witcher 3. Every physical copy. Oh, you bought it digitally. Every physical copy had a thank you note in the game.
Wow.
And then think of where they were in 5 years after they were.
Then they're like, "Fuck you,
Titans." Yeah, we're not even gonna let you.
This shit.
PS4 game doesn't even work, but you can buy it.
Yeah, give us the $60. Yeah. Fuck off.
Speaking of things that are fucking off, let's talk about E3. E3 2022 has been canceled, Ted. Can you believe it?
Finally, my wish came true a year later.
I know. I believe that you... Did you predict this year as well?
I don't think I re-picked it, but last year I did it. Yeah.
After previously canceling its E3 in-person 2022 event, the ESA has announced that there will be no digital event this year as well, meaning that E3 2022 has fully been canceled. The ESA then shared an official statement with IGN confirming E3 2022's cancellation and announcing that E3 will return in 2023 with a reinvigorated showcase. There's a quote from them, the ESA. "We will devote all of our energy and resources to delivering a revitalized physical and digital E3 experience next summer. Whether enjoyed from the show floor or from your favorite devices, the 2023 showcase will bring the community, media, and industry back together in an all-new format and interactive experience. We will look forward to presenting E3 to fans all around the world from Los Angeles in 2023. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Does E3 2023 happen?
I'm gonna go with a no.
Yeah, that's probably what I was thinking too.
Or you get a summer of gaming merges with E3, and then you have like a good fest. Because what I think is gonna happen is, since we're gonna still have summer of gaming.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley's
Jeff
event.
Keighley's summer of gaming. IGN has a gaming thing too.
All these companies are gonna do their own thing and just present, and then it's gonna be part of the summer of gaming. The company's just gonna realize, like, why do I need to like go to E3 or pay E3 and do my own event when I can just host my own?
Yeah.
Which is what a lot of companies big game companies have been doing now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. They're gonna have to either like spend the money to get everyone back for E3, and it hasn't been the same for a long time, as people have talked about. I would love like an in-person event, but if they have to totally revamp it, they have to like have it for the developers as well, but also for the fans. Like have it like appeal to both.
I think it'll be much more fan driven than anything if it's back next year.
Then if
it's like
they
a Comic-Con.
say what they're gonna do, it's definitely gonna happen. But it could easily fold.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's
if they continue with the same thing that they've been doing, no point.
No.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing their own thing.
Yeah, if it's like a Comic-Con-esque PAX kind of thing, that would be sick.
Yeah, I think it will happen. I think there will be one more year where they make a completely fan-driven Comic-Con-esque event, and
where's the money
after that from fans?
From fans,
from tickets.
They don't have any money now. Like they're not getting any money this year. Like they're gonna have to really rally like support for the money to host it.
I think they'll do one more really fan-centric event, and from there decide if it's even worth doing, because you're right, E3 has been a trade show. It's a place where it's a very important place for developers to tell the public what they're up to.
Yeah,
or publishers.
This is what I've been working on.
Yeah.
Publishers
again,
but like like you said, for the past 10 years we haven't needed that. We have the internet.
There's also been other expos like GDC or Gamescom or like other ones that have been doing that. So it's like
yeah.
Well, Gamescom and E3 are very similar things. They just happen on different continents.
E3 was a staple, but
and now you don't need a marketing beat to have a showcase where everybody had all eyes were on the game industry. Now all eyes are kind of always on the game industry because it's so massive.
Because the internet
PlayStation's got something coming on. All right, let's watch it.
Yeah,
it's just like we got an announcement.
Right. Yeah, in an era where Nintendo Directs and PlayStation. I forgot what they're called.
State of Plays.
State of Plays.
And Xbox.
Could only be done in person. E3 was a very important thing.
What does Xbox call this stuff?
I don't know.
Access?
World exclusive.
Game Pass.
What do you call it?
I think E3 is an outdated concept.
Yes.
I would like to see E3 go in the direction of GDC, where it is much more of a collaborative, like, let's, as publishers and as developers, talk to each other about what went right and what went wrong, share thoughts, discuss ideas, trade secrets. Like I think they should do more of that, but who knows? They are a money-making organization.
There's not a lot
looking
of money
to gain
they're
looking to gain popularity. GDC is for single developers and like indies and stuff.
That's still nice. No, go ahead.
I just think it's going to be much more like a PAX or something like that, where it's going to be much more fan-driven with like tentpole showcases that all fans could go watch or something.
That would be cool, but I don't think you can live in a world where it's a fan-driven PAX event, but also you want PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo to show up.
Well, they need the money. You need to show like here's a bunch of fans that want to come and be at this expo.
Yeah, it's kind of this thing of like you're trying to have this really prestigious event, but you don't have the prestige anymore. And so like, because if E3 came out and was like, we're gonna just lower the bar, and like if you're some indie dev or Devolver Digital and you want to show your stuff, please do. I'd be totally happy with that. But I could see a whole bunch of people who are like, no.
Yeah.
This is not E3. E3 is for the big people, and that's it. And if we're not here to watch PlayStation, I'm out.
And what about Summer of Gaming? Like that's going to be huge this year. That's going to be all eyes on that. That does well, and then they're going to think like, maybe I just do Summer of Gaming because I get to do my own thing. They just
brand
pivot everyone to it.
Put a schedule on it.
Yeah, and that's way easier than me going to E3, setting up my own booth, setting up everything, like paying all that money.
Yeah, because Sony's never going back to E3. I mean, Sony is done. And Microsoft is like, yeah, well, we might as well just.
Microsoft's like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, honestly, like, just to throw another curveball into 2022, I think Microsoft will just buy E3, just make it their thing.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought like they were just gonna put up E3 for sale, and I was like, that's a perfect thing.
Because the ESA is the game. Isn't the ESA like the ratings board? Like you can't.
No, that's the ESRB.
No, ESRB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were in cahoots in some way.
No, I don't think so. I think that's like a conspiracy theory on one of your blogs.
Yeah, it's like Evo. It's like.
You think I read?
They're trying to make every game M. I know
they own it, man. They own it. The government.
They own the ratings, man.
I wish them the best.
We have a lot of pent-up energy on this show.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Any final thoughts on E3? Because I really want to talk about our next thing.
Fuck E3. Continue on.
I just think it needs to go away at this point. Like, we're done.
I like E3.
I liked E3.
I like the concept, but now we have the same thing without having E3.
Yeah.
Like last year, did anyone...
Decentralized information, man.
Exactly. The powers in the people.
Our games news is going to be on the blockchain.
Ooh.
I like Jeff Keighley. Can just Jeff Keighley just be everywhere?
I know. He's going to be.
I'm going to make a confession to you guys.
What
is it? Summer of Gaming?
Yeah.
Summer Game Fest or Summer of Gaming?
I have never watched a minute of it. I have never heard a thing about it.
You have.
You guys talk?
You have. No, you have.
You have.
Because,
have I?
Ted, you don't know that you have because it's just, all he does is he just...
It's the system, man. You don't know. They got you all hooked up.
I swear. Maybe I watched something and just thought it was E3?
No, okay, what he does, Jeff Keighley is brilliant. He does work in this. I'm not going to deny that. But he basically is like, hey, anybody got a presentation? And they go, yeah. And he goes, all right, we're presenting Ubisoft's presentation. And it's just on his schedule. Manager. Yeah, that's it. And then he has like other announcements that he sets up and stuff. But like the big stuff we've all watched, but he puts it under his banner. So like 2020.
He turns on the TV for you. That's what he does.
Yeah,
and you watch.
And he gives you a schedule on a website.
Exactly. So you know when like events are happening. And then that was actually the worst part about like old E3 is like sometimes like things would overlap or like announcements would come out all the same.
Yeah.
But now this way it's all staggered. Like there's a nice schedule. Where,
multiple days.
This days this days this. They're gonna do this day. And then it wasn't even 1 week. It's like months. It's like, okay, there's gonna be something this month. And that's what I liked about it. It's like it wasn't just 1 week of all the announcements. You got the whole summer. Summer Games Fest.
Summer Games Fest and Summer Gaming. IGN's got one of them, and Jeff Keighley's got the other name. I forget which one's which.
Yeah, and I like that because then it was like sprinkled. You got little announcements sprinkled through, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah, and he's had some significant announcements like within his show. I mean, that's where Tony Hawk Pro's going to remake and stuff. He does.
People like him, but that's where you got the industry.
He's got
people coming in. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They'll just rebrand whatever he does to E3 and call it that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they can merge it.
Yeah, it's just a name at this point.
Yeah, Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Our next story,
Ted. This one, it's really not for you at all. So, but like you can talk about it, but you're not going to be into this.
Oh.
Sony's announced their semi-Game Pass competitor.
It's a Game Pass, but not the Game Pass. That's what I'll say.
This is called the all-new PlayStation Plus. It launches in June with 700 plus games and more value than ever. This comes from the PlayStation blog, written by Jim Ryan, the president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. There's a lot to read, so bear with me as I stumble through it.
Is it in Japanese?
No, that'd be hilarious.
Imagine Jim Ryan speaks very good Japanese.
He has to.
It's really cool. It's really cool to see.
That's literally what you have to do for Sony.
It's so cool. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's good. All right, this June, we're bringing together PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now in an all-new PlayStation Plus subscription service that provides more choice to customers across 3 membership tiers globally. 3 tiers, okay? Our focus is providing high-quality, curated content with a diverse portfolio of games. Below is an overview of the 3 membership tiers. So I'll go through all of them and then let's talk about broad and we'll go through all of them. Okay. PlayStation Plus Essential. Provides the same benefits that PlayStation Plus members are getting today, such as 2 monthly downloadable games, exclusive discounts, cloud storage, online multiplayer access, and there is no changes for existing PlayStation Plus members in this tier. So if you have PlayStation Plus now, you can keep having PlayStation Plus. That price is still $9.99 a month or $60 a year. PlayStation Plus Extra provides all the benefits from the Essential tier from a normal PlayStation Plus tier, adds a catalog of up to 400 games of our most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from the PlayStation Studios catalog, third-party partners. Games in Extra tier are downloadable for play. Okay? You can download their essential games. Now,
and that is PlayStation 4
and PlayStation 5.
And 5.
And 5.
And they've announced
Returnal is on that
Returnal
list, right?
is on that list. So it's like God of War and Spider-Man Miles Morales and Returnal.
Huge.
Returnal got a free DLC pack for co-op recently and a horde mode. Very cool. I know. Returnal's fucking great. Yeah, be super cool. So this tier is $14.99 a month or $100 a year. Okay?
That competes directly with Game Pass,
Game
right?
Pass.
On that price point. Okay.
Sony has also said that they will not be releasing their first party's day and date.
That sounds, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I think we called that.
PlayStation Plus Premium provides all the benefits from the Essential and Extra tiers. Adds up to 340 additional games, including PS3 games available to stream via the cloud. You cannot download the PS3 games. They are still being fucked by the cell processor. A catalog of beloved classic games available in both streaming and downloadable options from original PlayStation, PS2, and PSP generations. Offer cloud streaming access for the original PlayStation, PS2, PSP, and PS4 games offered in the Extra and Premium tier markets. So I guess you can also cloud stream your PS4 games through this that you couldn't do in the other tier. Customers can stream games using PS4 and PS5 consoles and PC. Time-limited game trials will also be offered in this tier, so customers can try select games before they buy. This tier is $17.99 a month or $120 a year. So those are your three tiers. So your first tier...
What did you mention about PC? Sorry.
Yeah, so it looks like
you can stream it on PC?
The PlayStation Plus, yeah, you can stream
you
games.
can stream, I believe, from your PlayStation device to a computer. It is not, you cannot locally download on a computer. There isn't an app or a program.
PlayStation Now is currently available.
Yeah, you can just stream.
Yeah.
And that's just $3 more.
It's $17.99 a month. It is worth noting that the PS3, PSP, PS2, PSP, or PS1 games have not been announced. 0 of them.
Still, that's huge.
All right. I've got thoughts. I'm sure we all got thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
Obviously, Microsoft had to make Game Pass to compete with Sony's incredible first parties that they couldn't do. Sure. There was a huge gap last generation where PS4 had these incredible tentpole titles and Xbox had Forza. And really, I'm sorry, Microsoft fans, maybe you had some other exclusives. You had Hellblade. Great fucking game. Nobody played it, okay? And they played it on PS4 a lot more than Xbox. Not the point. Anyways, I'm not biased in this conversation, James, okay? They had to make GameStop, or they had to make Game Pass to compete. They did, and Game Pass is an incredible service.
Wildly successful. Yeah.
It's kicking ass in all directions. PlayStation, I don't think had to do this, but they kind of had to do it to like show they're competing, and they half-assed it, and I don't think it matters, but I think it's a terrible service.
Oh, wow, okay.
The reason I think it's really bad, I think that it is very dodgy that you can't download all these games. It's very weird that this comes out in June and they've announced 0 of the titles that are going to be available. Mm-hmm. Is it going to be the classic PS2 games? Now, I recently tried to buy Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 on Xbox, and I couldn't buy the collection because it is having licensing issues. My first thought is, I think it's going to this. I think that they're going to announce all the Konami games that you want to play are on this service. If that's the case, great.
Okay.
Am I going to pay...
That's a positive way to look at it.
That's what I believe is happening.
Yeah.
But am I going to pay $18 a month to play old games, also while paying $15 a month to play the new Xbox games?
Oh, okay. That's a good point. You're bringing it up. Like now but you were already paying $10 a month. Right?
I'm already paying $10, right?
So you're going to be spending $8 more.
$8 more a year, or $100
to stream previous PlayStation games that have not been announced.
And games you already own.
Most likely.
So that doesn't help you at all.
Right.
Oh yeah, unless there's some, but...
Yeah, but like, I don't need to go... Unless it's like, if all the Metal Gear games are on there, I'll do this for like 2 months and just play all of them. But
so, if they adapt their model to be similar to Game Pass, like maybe introduce more games as they come out, like I don't even know how, like they're not day one exclusives like Game Pass, but they may do like next month or 2 months or 3 months,
Now,
then is that still worth it?
So Ted, what is your question? And then I may want to say what I want to say before you're going to say your question.
I just had a quick question. It's 700 plus games, 400 plus at the lower tier.
Yep.
Are these all supposed to be, I'm so sorry, like, old third-party games, or like Game Pass, like indies come out day and date on Game Pass? Have they said anything about like you can play? I don't know. What's a new indie game that recently came out?
Tunic, but that's on Game Pass, but I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Windjammers 2 is coming to PlayStation Plus Extra Plus. I forgot what they're called.
Oh yeah, the fact there's 3 tiers I think is also not a good sign. But
yeah, and sorry to keep going, but Game Pass for me is, I have it for exclusives and day one Xbox, but I also have it because really cool indies drop.
Tunic is free on there if we all want to come play Tunic.
And like
I play for the indies.
It's exclusives aside, I play it for day and date releases. Have they said if that's going to happen, or is this just a retro catalog?
No, and from what in my opinion, reading this, I don't read that that's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen either. I agree.
I do imagine that maybe Ubisoft games will be on this service more than the Xbox Game Pass, because that's where EA's games are, and they don't have a ton of Ubisoft games on there. So I could see like certain deals going that way, but I don't foresee this having day and date games really at all, because I think Xbox is doing a better job now with indies than PlayStation is, just in general. But I also think that PlayStation doesn't need to do that. PlayStation's exclusives, what I was going to say is, I don't think this service is better if PlayStation exclusives are day and date, because I think that inevitably will hurt PlayStation exclusives. I think we are seeing, unfortunately, with Halo Infinite, as good as that game was when it launched, the content roadmap they keep giving keeps getting pushed back, and they are having issues developing that to what they've kind of said it was going to be by this point in the year.
And it's the same 5 maps, and you got nothing coming.
Same 5 maps. Forge isn't there. I don't even think campaign co-op is there yet.
Nope.
That was scheduled for May of this year.
But it all actually got pushed.
I apologize for the motorcycle.
You're good.
It's okay.
Yeah, so I do think that is an interesting difference between them, is the exclusives issue that shows that Sony's exclusives right now. Whoa, what?
No. I was just thinking. Our analogy from 6 months ago still stands perfectly true. Of like, PlayStation is a movie theater and Xbox is a movie night. Mm-hmm. And it feels like it kind of like what Disney did in the pandemic, of like, you can watch a new movie for $30 at home for 24 hours, and you're like, I mean, I guess.
No, you bought it, Ted. Don't pull this bullshit that Reddit tried. You bought that movie on Disney Plus if you paid $30.
Oh God, yeah, live action Mulan.
Black Widow. Yeah.
No, but our thing still stands of like, you're doing a great job being a movie theater. Mm-hmm. I don't really need this multi-tiered system of games that honestly you can get for free on a computer.
Yep.
Or something similar. I guess the PS4 games are pretty cool. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. The PS4 games, I think the PS, like, for me, the back catalog of Sony games is the most interesting part of this. Yeah. But you didn't announce a single game when you announced this. If you do have Metal Gear on this, put this in, man. All 4 of the core Metal Gear games are on here. I don't know.
If I can test both of your knowledges real quick, name off for me fully exclusive PlayStation titles of yonder
that are owned still by Sony.
With nobody else. Because my first thought was like, all the old Resident Evils, and then I was like, that's Capcom.
Yeah.
So name for me a truly exclusive PlayStation title that you are itching to play, or that you would like to see. Because nothing is coming to mind for me.
I was gonna say
I am struggling. Like Spyro. Oh, that's
Spyro.
Activision. Yeah.
That I would think that's an interesting thing. I mean, it's like all the God of Wars, people love those, so like there will be a big fan base to play with God of Wars. No, I think that's a very good point. A lot of their big exclusives that you think of when you think of PS2 are not owned by them. I mean,
Final Fantasy, PSP, right?
Yep, PSP. That's interesting.
There's some exclusive PSP Final Fantasy games and exclusive Kingdom Hearts games that people would probably want to check out.
Final Fantasy Tactics. That'd be cool if that was on here.
Yeah, people like Tactics.
Yeah.
That's Squeenix, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Parappa the Rappa, Ted.
Parappa. I'm in.
The Rappa.
There's not 400 games. Like they're not gonna bring out like 400 like games from out of nowhere. They're gonna definitely like have.
Yeah, that's where I'm confused. Is that like it's not newish or modernish games, but it's 700 games. Like I can't even think of one.
That's what I say. It's
what. You know. What do they have going on? They just said 700 games and then didn't even give any examples. And you're like, well, okay, well, what are these actually going to be?
Yeah. I would imagine a lot of it's carryover, too, from whatever's on PlayStation now. I think it's a lot of that kind of PS3. Bully is on there and stuff like that.
Right.
So,
yeah.
What do you guys think about this? I'm curious.
Yeah, James, I've been talking a lot. You go ahead.
What do you think, James?
I actually like the idea, but then when you were like going into it, it got a little bit worse to me. However, it depends on because if I'm buying a premium product like a PS5, I'm gonna be spending the money to buy the premium games that come out with it. So this service does nothing for me if the game eventually comes out on this service because I've already played the game or I already own the game. Mm-hmm. So but Returnal is like, okay, now that I get a PS5, maybe I'll play Returnal through this service.
Yeah.
For just maybe 1 month, I'll have my tier. I don't know. It's like to me, it's like if I'm gonna spend $10 a month for just the cloud saves and online, I don't mind spending $15 a month. It's like maybe I spend the 18, but the 18's not worth it for me. It's like,
no, and maybe this service does have a thing where 6 months after an exclusive comes out, it comes out here with the service,
which is fine because maybe there is like a exclusive that I don't. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of stuff coming out. It's like maybe I don't pick everything up because of course it's expensive, but I'm gonna be spending the money for like God of War and all this like stuff. But
maybe that's kind of how they do it. If like you can right now, you can go to a movie theater, or 45 days later, you can watch it on HBO Max. Maybe that's kind of something they do, or 6 months later.
So great idea.
Yeah,
that kind of makes service. But then it's like I'm not gonna be spending $18 a month every month. I'm just gonna wait till it comes out and then put my money in there.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think that
with Game Pass, it's like. Something always comes out. Like every month, something comes out that I want to play.
Game Pass has a great, like the Netflixization of what the service is, in my opinion. Of like, everybody has Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't watch Netflix a lot.
I know.
I don't at all. Like I watch Hulu, HBO, and Disney way more than Netflix.
Yeah, I watch Disney a lot now.
But you're never going to cancel Netflix.
Netflix is just a staple in the household.
Yeah, like everybody's got it.
Like your phone. Everyone's got it.
Yeah.
And I think Game Pass is becoming that for me of like, I have an Xbox, so I'll have Game Pass because I don't need to buy anything else.
Yeah.
I have a PlayStation because like that's where all my premium products are going to be played. Right. Not because like, I'll test out these indies and I'll play like Halo when it comes. So I think that's an interesting problem that Sony has now with the service tier. And I think also having multiple tiers is going to be very confusing, and I think it's a very bad idea.
So my first red flag, I hate the tiering system.
Yeah, I don't know why they did.
Just because I am already confused. Wait,
what, you don't mean premium, extra, and essential doesn't?
Yeah, it's also because it's going to be called PlayStation Plus Premium, which is just
they call it the PPP.
Yeah, it doesn't roll off the tongue. But also, it's like we've been discussing this for 10 minutes now, and I am struggling to recall the difference between. I know what essential is, the middle tier and the premium. What was the middle tier?
So the middle tier provides a catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games. Okay. So if a game wasn't that enjoyable, Ted, it won't be on here. Don't worry.
Right.
That's where I'll pull up the list they listed like a few of kind of the essential games.
Okay, so
they're gonna do like here's FIFA 20, FIFA 21, FIFA like
FIFA DLC So I'm already confused off of the bat. I don't have a driving force to get the premium, the most expensive. I can kind of see the middle tier because I missed the tail end of PlayStation 4 games and the beginning of PS5 games, so I could see myself going back to play a Spider-Man. But James, as you were saying, I don't need that on a monthly recurring basis. I could just do that for a month, play Spider-Man, and then be done until something catches my fancy.
Exactly. So that to me, having that option though is still nice.
Yeah.
Like I could just be spending that $10 a month, like as I was already doing. Like if you were avid PS user, and then I just bump it up for 1 month if I want to. Like, oh, this Returnal came out. Oh, great. Let me play that. And all done with it. Boom.
Yeah, and for the ultimate tier, like, Nintendo has a lot to blame for this, but I am questioning a subscription tier for retro games anyway, because I don't really play them, and if I do play them, I play them for 15 minutes and go, man, that was cool, and then I don't worry about it. And so
Nintendo has that already.
Yeah, so like paying $18 a month to play Parappa the Rapper whenever I feel like it.
It's Rappa.
Excuse me,
Parappa the Rappa.
Parappa the Rappa. Just does not do it for me.
The 6 games confirmed to the extra and premium service are Marvel's Spider-Man, Spider-Man Miles Morales, God of War, Returnal, Mortal Kombat 11, and just the normal Death Stranding, not the director's cut.
Why not the director's cut?
So, and if I may, does the Mortal Kombat come with an addition to it? Is it the DLC or is that not included?
It does not say Aftermath, so I would assume that it is just
the base. So yeah, I'm left confused and not really sold yet.
Yeah.
You know what though? I think we need to like really experience it though. So Jake, spend the highest tier. You put it on the company
I'll get
card,
a year.
And then let us know.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know how it goes streaming my PlayStation 3 games.
Right.
I do think for me, my biggest kind of just amazement is that they are, like I said about the cell processor, they still cannot allow you to download PS3 games on your PS5.
Well, yeah, and I'm out of my wheelhouse when I say this, but I think it's because of emulation issues. They can't use an emulator because that would justify its use. You can't say that emulators are like illegal or wrong if you yourself are trying to use it.
They can definitely make
Nintendo does that.
Yeah, that's how Nintendo does it.
Yeah, Nintendo does do that.
They're also old Nintendo 64s and straight.
Nintendo also is a little bit insane.
No, there's a fundamental problem with the PlayStation 3 hardware, which is why PlayStation got kind of screwed for so long. Is they didn't go with Blu-ray normal technology like CD technology like 360 and stuff did. They went with this ultra CD what's it called? I had the word cell processor.
Cell processing.
Cell processing, yeah. And
it reads discs differently than anything else. It's something insane.
It's insane. But games were developed for the cell processor to be able to be read by the cell processor. So you have to remake a game to get it to work.
Yeah.
Like that without streaming.
It's fundamentally flawed.
Yeah.
And so
it's huge. It's it's insane.
So you're gonna wonder how it's you're streaming, which sure, I haven't really played a streaming game yet.
Yeah,
so you're gonna have to let me know on that.
Just a cherry on top. Having never used PlayStation Now, I have always been told, or kind of just through the grapevine, I have come to the conclusion that PlayStation Now is kind of a bad service.
That's what I've heard as well. I've never used it, but
yeah, and so it might not be. It probably has improved. It's been around for a long time, but just that feeling of I don't think it's that great. Streaming has not yet been sold to me. Xbox is doing a great job. Don't get me wrong, but I'm also still a little iffy on streaming a game. And to say for an extra $5 a month you can stream games, and you're I don't think I want to do that.
Yeah, and a lot of the main PS3 games that I think are the most replayable or worth playing have been remade for PS4.
Have been remade, yeah.
Right.
So that's an interesting issue. But yeah, I would agree that the game streaming is not something I'm sold on. I will say though, every time I've used it on Xbox through my phone, it has been remarkable. I've been shocked how good it is.
Yeah. So maybe this is just a let it play out, keep it around for a few months, let them announce games for it, and maybe it will slowly build itself out into something similar to a Game Pass. I would say that, at least from reading the descriptions of both, Game Pass is still easier, and that is enough for so many people to just be oh, one price, one thing, I get everything.
Dude, seriously.
Cool.
Yeah, it's the tiers. I cannot believe they did tiers.
Yeah.
I know that was rumored, but I just cannot believe they were that.
What I'm afraid is they're just gonna like you said, Jake, half-ass it, and then what's gonna happen is not a lot of people are gonna buy into it, and then they're just gonna be oh, you guys don't want it? Okay, we'll just get rid of it.
Yeah.
And then you're okay, well, what the fuck? Why would you?
Or similarly, I guess I would wonder if if as they add new things to it, like, are they going to be adding new things to the most expensive tier? And kind of those middle people are going to be like, what the fuck, guys? I upped my subscription and you're not even giving me what I want. You know what I mean? Like you said, tiering is just kind of it feels like a bad system.
From how I read the tiers, the middle tier, anything new, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 comes to that tier. Yep. It is just the back catalog you get upgrading to the next level. So
right.
We'll see. I think we'll revisit this kind of June, July when it really is fully announced.
I want to hear about games. If they can strike deals with people, that sounds like a really good call for sure.
Yeah.
Because 700 games, what are they going to be?
I know.
What are those 700 games? Is a lot of games. That's more games than I've ever played or owned.
There's going to be like 8 Twisted Metal games on there. You can take that to the fucking bank, Ted.
That's true. Do I want to play 8 Twisted Metal games?
You don't even want to play one.
Support? If they have online support, maybe play some old Call of Duty. I'd be down for that.
Oh, a little Call of Duty 2. Okay.
Call of Duty is an Xbox game.
Oh, it is now. It is. Well, soon. Not yet. It will be.
True, Ted. True, Ted. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Damn,
that's
right.
So, you'll be playing Killzone game.
So is Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot's also going to be owned by Microsoft.
Yeah. And that's a different conversation for a different time. But we'll let it play out.
Yeah. Any final thoughts? Just let it play out and we'll talk about it again another time.
Just let it run.
I guess you two both have PlayStation. I guess we all have PlayStations, but you two, I believe, are actively using your PlayStations. Do you got either of you guys? Are you going to upgrade, and if so, what tier?
I think I will upgrade. Well, it's really game dependent. If there is something interesting on the extra tier, just like old game, I think I would do it to kind of test it out for this show.
I was gonna say I'd like to test it out.
Yeah.
But I'm actually probably gonna do it because I'd want to play Returnal. Like once I get to my PS5, I want to play Returnal, and it's like, okay, if I could just spend $8 basically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
I think that's worth it.
Play Spider-Man as well. Like it's
Miles Morales.
Great. Yeah. It's great for people who haven't gotten a PS5 and are coming into it, and boom, like here's all these games you can play for just $18 a month.
Yeah.
Great. And you don't want to own them. Like you just want to play them.
But it's not.
That was like the one thing. The ownership is great.
That's I think it's a very good deal in a vacuum where you don't know about all the other deals that are out there.
I would agree.
Yeah, if you don't want to deal with a computer and you don't see Xbox on the other half of the GameStop store.
Well, and there are a ton of people that just buy PlayStations, and that's the casual audience now is mainly PlayStation an audience. So we'll see. I mean, I think it's interesting.
The Series S is so cheap now. I can't believe how good of a deal that is.
And you can find them everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes. Apparently, Series X's are showing up in stores pretty regularly.
Yeah, Series X's are now being sold.
PS5s, people are starting to see them too in the wild. So it's all
I
getting
recently
a little
found
easier.
out my Xbox Series X is also a Blu-ray player, which I thought was funny.
Yes,
I had completely forgotten. I was bummed
Blu-ray
out for
player.
a second. I was like, I can't watch a movie, and I was like,
you can do 4K Blu-rays.
You do 4K Blu-rays. Same with PS5.
Same
I
with
got the
PS5,
disc edition.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Before we go, we haven't talked about what we've been playing in a while. We got about 10 minutes. James, I want to start because I actually know this. Ted hasn't playing diddly squat.
Yeah.
What have you been playing, James?
So I put down one game, which was different than the game that you put down because we both put down Elden Ring.
We're both going to talk a little bit about Elden Ring. Yeah, for sure.
I picked up this game from a friend who recommended it. It released and kind of really went under the radar. It released 2 weeks ago, I think. It's called Nightmare Reaper.
Okay.
Probably no one's heard about it.
Describe it to me. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
But this game is underrated. It is one of those retro shooters that we've seen a lot where it looks old, in the style of old Doom, but it's new.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's Doom. It's basically like a roguelite Doom.
I'm sold. Okay.
Yeah. But it has
I
it
like
has
Doom
all these other
a lot.
mechanics. So the premise is you basically so far I haven't finished a loop yet, but I'm in some insane asylum hospital, and then when I go to sleep, I go into a Doom-esque level, and it's a retro shooter style, so it looks like old graphics, but feels new. And then
how's the music? How's the new retro music?
The composer is the exact same composer for Doom Eternal, and all that. So the music is fantastic. Ooh. So it has that. So it has the composer. The game's fully released, $22, and you go around these levels, and you're collecting gold, you're looking for secrets, and you're killing all the enemies. How you do that, there's weapons, there's magic, there's miniguns, shotguns, like any type of like weapon there is. And at the end of every level, you can only bring one weapon with you to the next level. So you gotta like hunt down rare items or legendary items if there's legendary, and also like like you're just trying to like fully complete the level, and they're not too long. It probably takes like maybe like 10 minutes a level.
Okay.
Depending on it, like it's gotten a little bit harder, but and then after each level, you go back to your room, and it's like you're getting more clues, like trying to figure out what's going on. But it has this really interesting mechanic, which I haven't really seen before. In the game, it has like a skill tree, and it has like these things that can help you level up, so like increase your chances, like give you more ammo, give you an extra life for a loop,
Yeah.
But it has you play like a mini game. You basically play like a mini Mario level to get your level up.
Like a side-scrolling.
Yeah, so you spend your gold that you collected throughout the map, and then you play like a side-scrolling like Mario level, and that like once you beat that level, you get the unlock, and you continue on in the world.
Huh.
And then for this other mode, there's like another currency. You play Pokemon, you play Pokemon. You go out and collect stuff, and you battle other people to get level ups. It's insane. Like you basically like break out like a game and play it like. And you do this while you're playing the roguelike, so it's like games within games.
Oh, that's awesome.
And there's just light humor everywhere.
I know. I'm staring at this game right now. It looks fucking weird.
It's the first type of these retro shooters that I played, but it's got like some addicting factors to it. Like I've been getting that Doom itch lately, and it's like I don't really want to boot up Doom because it's the same thing. But this is a little bit roguelite-esque, and it's got some really fun weapons and really fun guns, and this interesting like overarching kind of.
Okay, I might be playing this. This looks really cool.
Yeah, it was like it's like $20, and I was like, okay, I'll just get it. I was like, holy shit, this soundtrack is killer. This gameplay is locked down. It's got some fun stuff.
This looks awesome.
It's just something different to like break my Elden Ring like monotony. Just like let me play some totally different. Like get a shooter in there.
The opposite. I need to get back on my Elden Ring monotony.
Oh, I can't stop my Elden Ring monotony. It's a problem.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. This looks really cool.
Yeah, and it's a fully released game. It's not an early access, so thank God.
Nightmare Reaper.
Yeah. Speaking of early access, I do have a game.
Woo! What do you got for me?
I'll be brief about it because I really haven't played that much. Our mutual friend of the show, Gunnar, has been playing a game called Project Zomboid, and I have taken my first steps into this game. I've talked about it a lot.
Yeah.
Really brief summary: it is a isometric game, so you're kind of looking at the world down. You play a singular character in the zombie apocalypse.
Yep.
It is graphically and stylistically very like 90s. It feels like you're playing a game from the late 90s. Yes.
Is this single player or multiplayer?
So it is both. It was originally conceived as a single player game, but they have added like servers.
Oh.
And I'll get to that. So like our friend has made a server that is just alive in the world. I could log in right now, even though he's not on. It's not like we both log in together. It is just a world that goes through days and nights. It's very cool. It's clunky as shit. And in like
a 10-year-old game.
Yeah, it's a 10-year-old game that's pretending to be a 30-year-old game. So it is like I've been thinking about how to describe it. It's like you walk up to an oven, let's say, like in the game an oven, and like a box at the top of your screen just pops up and it's like oven. And then you have to scroll over to your inventory and drag like raw meat and put it in the oven. And then after a while you'll see like food is cooked and you have to drag it back. So it's a lot of that.
Okay.
Now factor in that this is a roguelike where, I have to do that and then you hear a noise and you turn around and there's a zombie and he bites you and that's the end.
And you're dead.
This game is insane. It is one of those things where like your characters has levels, they level up. It is extremely numbers intensive.
Okay.
There's like 22 things to level up, like foraging, cooking, carpentry, blunt weapons, sharp weapons, like very like video gamey kind of.
RPG-esque, yeah.
Do you level up by doing, or do you level up by skill points?
You level up by doing or by reading. Like you can find books in the world by reading. And then if you get bitten by a zombie, you are done. You will eventually die. That is the end. And you will need to make
You,
a
like,
new character
slowly
and start
die?
again. You slowly die.
That's
You can drink bleach to kill yourself. But the way it was described to me, and this was off the cuff, but it ended up being the truest thing I've ever heard about this game. If something happens in the game, whatever it might be, a task, a thing, imagine how you might do it in real life. That's how you have to do it in the game. So if you get scratched, you need to apply alcohol or antiseptic to the wound before you put a band-aid on it. Otherwise, it will get infected and cause a permanent stat decrease. This is the game that we're playing. It's insane.
Damn.
It is so, like,
super hardcore.
It's a little bit too hardcore, and the clunkiness, all with this, like, there are zombies, and if like one runs up and get to you, and I'm in the inventory screen, I'm done. That's the end of me. It's a lot.
Huh. Interesting. It sounds like too much for me.
It's kind of too much for me, but I'm really excited to like keep trying at it.
Yeah.
For the record, our friend Gunnar is really into cars, so that's kind of what he's doing. And like, to deal with a car, you have to get like the proper tool for the proper thing, and like undo the lug nuts to pull off the tire, to then put the tire and reattach
He's having too much fun with that.
Yeah, there's so much like little details that,
I need a manifold.
Yeah, there's so much little details that reflect real life. It's like kind of awesome, but also like really intimidating.
Too much.
Yeah. Also, the world is like real time, so like there's power in the world for the first like 14 days, and then power stops because this is the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, wild.
Yeah. So it like it's structured in a real, like, this is day one of the zombie apocalypse.
That's cool.
See how many days you can go. I highly recommend checking it out, maybe on YouTube. But if you're so inclined, it's a neat experience.
Huh. Interesting.
If you're willing to deal with some serious jank.
So I may try it out.
Yeah, join our server. There's 2 of us right now. We're really bad.
It's just
actually,
you two?
Gunner's very good. It's Gunner he's very good. He's got cars, he's driving around, and then it's me who spawns in like the spawn zone and kind of dies every time I try and get out of it.
It's fair.
Fair. It's like what is it? It's very realistic, very serious, but like it's also Left 4 Dead zombies, where like you're looking around and then there's just like 35, and you're like,
sorry,
take me. It's over. It's
hey,
crazy.
remember Back 4 Blood?
Yeah, we played that
me
once.
neither.
Yeah, we played that once. It was a good time.
Yeah. Imagine if Back 4 Blood, like, you cut yourself because you didn't clear the glass off the window that you broke, because that's an extra action that you have to do before you climb through. Oh my God.
Nice.
Left 4 Dead had like weapon attachments, and that was really weird. Or Back 4 Blood. I just remember that. All right.
Anyway, let's talk about new games.
Elden Ring. So I've played like an hour or so of Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
What are your thoughts?
I really haven't played enough of it to like give you my like thoughts, but that being said, preliminary, very beautiful. It starts with a very hype Star Wars and like intro where that like shows lightsabers like going through the 3 different sagas. Ted, Livy.
Sorry, no.
3 different.
Go ahead, keep going.
So
that's my question. A moment.
It is 9. It's all 9 movies of the Skywalker saga in this game. It is not structured like normal Lego games, where you like enter a door to go into level 1 of episode 1. It is much more like congruent and almost like there are like hub worlds throughout the levels that you're going, like story chapters. You can play any of the 3 trilogies that you want to, but you have to start with the first movie in each trilogy. So Phantom Menace, A New Hope, or Force Awakens.
I like that.
But then you go and I haven't done a ton. I'm still on Tatooine. I just left Tatooine, got to the Death Star in A New Hope. That's where I am.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay, thank you. I was like, which Tatooine?
Well, Tatooine's a lot of times.
Tatooine.
Did you make it to the end of the prequels?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was like. You started with what?
Yeah, so I started out with on the first movie I ever made, A New Hope, and so I just got there. But if you go into like your menus, there are 300 playable characters that you can unlock, which is just wild. Apparently, they all have a ton of voice lines. It is not the original cast of the movies, but apparently in the Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker stuff, they sometimes use like Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, and those people.
I'll ask my questions now.
Yes.
Does it retain the Lego humor?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
The beginning of A New Hope First off, very cool. The beginning of A New Hope starts with the actual ending of Rogue One, where like Darth Vader's in the hallway and they like hand over the thing. Thought that was very cool. Like for the first time we saw it, kind of congruently.
Wait, really? That's so good.
It was really cool. But then it starts and it shows a different protocol droid and astromech droid walking, and then are not R2D2 and C3PO, and just something falls on him and crushes them, and then R2D2 and C3PO walk through. And I was like, that's pretty good.
That's some good stuff.
But what's really cool is that all these planets kind of have open world-esque areas, and you can go to there is a galaxy map. And when you unlock planets, you can go and fly to those planets, I guess, to do all the open world activities and then go into story missions.
That's so crazy.
I'm very excited to play more of this game. That being said, as I played it yesterday, Elden Ring called. Ted, yeah.
Did you? We all. I think we've all played the original Lego Star Wars.
I have for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Do these feel in any way like those, or does this feel like a wholly new game?
So,
because the way it's described to me every time I hear it, it does not sound like the games I grew up with. Not in a bad way.
This is not a remake, or this is an entirely new game concept. But Lego game still, so you're collecting studs and doing that kind of stuff.
It's a big Lego game. But probably the biggest game they've ever released.
Yes, I believe that. Yeah, that's what they've said. Is it's just like massive, and it feels like that. I would say it's pretty different. It feels different. The combat is not just single button. There is like combos that you can do, and people will block. Certain things like that. I have not played enough to really tell you. It feels super different, but
2-player co-op
only on couch. There is no online mode.
Hell yeah.
Steam has remote play together, so you can do multiplayer, which I don't know how well. Like with this type of game, it'd probably work okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could do the remote streaming, or like we try to do that for like what something fighter, I can't remember. Streets Rage. Like we were gonna do that. And it was just way too slow. Yeah. So I don't know how well that would translate like for this type of game. Like is it too laggy? Is it too desyncy? Maybe it won't matter too much.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty interesting. That's a good way.
I want to read up on it because it says it supports it on Steam, so I want to like.
Yeah. And I will say this game is beautiful looking. Yeah. There it is. I mean, just the graphics are awesome, but then all the particles, super cool. And then like on Tatooine, dust will get on your Lego figures. So like your like characters are like covered in sand and stuff in certain moments. And I just think like little details like that are really cool. I'm very excited to play like a ton more.
Jake, I did see something where someone was doing couch co-op and they hooked up like 2 monitors and it showed like this is player 1, this is player 2.
Oh,
it wasn't cool. Like split screen. So
I
don't know. I don't know if that will how it, like what you buy it on PlayStation.
I bought it on PlayStation 5. Yeah, so I'll let you know because
I don't know if you can hook up like 2 displays or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try it. We'll mess around with it because I know I will be playing.
Because I know you want to play.
Yeah, Hunter and I will be playing it. So.
But just a heads up on that because I saw it was working seamlessly on someone's setup.
I believe in the next few weeks I'll have many more thoughts on it, but I'm just
gotta ring that Elden.
I'm just deep in the Elden Ring, man. You know what I'm saying? I respect my character. Went into like a more magic-y kind of build. My just we'll just do a very brief thought on this. I just think it's incredible that I could respect my entire character within, learn how to play with it, and then it's just phenomenal how varied it is from how I was playing. I just think like that just shows you, man, this game is just trying to do something. How many different ways you can play is just insane.
Yeah.
So
I did the same thing, and I'm playing a completely different build now, which feels so cool.
Yeah.
It's so interesting that I'm just doing something completely different to what I was.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I haven't really progressed since the last time we talked about it, and I kind of feel like I'm hitting this strange rut. It's kind of this thing where I don't really know what to go, but my issue is that the XP cap is now so high that like I'll be honest with you guys, I made some dumb mistakes. And some dumb mistakes have happened to me where I've lost like a lot of runes. I've lost like 15,000 runes.
Welcome to Microsoft.
I jumped off of a cliff, heavy attack down, took no damage, stood back up next to a small rat because I was like, fuck this, you know? My controller died. And the little rat just ate me.
Yeah.
Just as I literally sprinted to the back room to grab more batteries. And I in pure panic mode, and I died and lost 15,000 runes, and it's one of these things where like that took an hour or so to get, and because of that, like I lost a level almost, and I'm kind of in this place where I'm not getting enough XP to justify leveling up all the time. So I don't know. I need to feel it out.
15,000.
Yeah, that point it's like you just gotta move. You just gotta go somewhere else. You gotta like look at the map and see if there's something else. And
there always is. Yeah.
There is always something.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, we've talked about it so much on this podcast, but still playing it, still working at it. I'm gonna beat it. I've decided that's where I'm heading. So I'm pretty much like just main path, and I think from here now I'm just like I want to kind of main path as much as possible until I have to.
I'm doing a lot of side story stuff and side story bosses, and it's
so good.
One thing goes to another, and it's like okay, I can't like progress. I don't want it to end. So, but I know once it ends, I'm gonna like shove off of it and probably I don't know if I'm gonna New Game Plus just yet.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I will eventually.
I'll come back to it, but I kind of want to do it when there's like new DLC. So
yeah, it's gonna come. I believe it'll be coming this year.
Fingers crossed.
They've done DLC for every game. Oh, for crossplay.
Yeah,
well, we'll see.
Oh,
they have an influx of cash. I hope they use it for crossplay. That's all I'm saying.
If they change to the PvP, like I know, like recently there's been like an area where people are doing 1v1 duels, but like you know, it'd be great if they changed it. Like you can have buddy like 2v2s.
I know. I saw this in a YouTube video, so I have no sources on this, but apparently a lot of the For Honor community is coming over for the 1v1 PvP battles. Yeah. Which I thought was interesting. I was like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense.
That's fantastic. Any final things to talk about before we say goodbye? Then thank you so much for watching the 91st episode of the Skywalker Gaming Podcast. That's Ted, that's James, I'm Jake, and we will see you next week. We promise we will be back.